Selamat malam teman-teman semua, selamat bergabung kembali bersama kita Komunitas Chan Indonesia dalam berlatih meditasi bersama dan belajar Dharma bersama dengan Koyen Shifu dari Dharma Mountain Retreat Center USA. Kita hari ini akan memulai sesi kita dengan melakukan info moving meditation. Setelah itu kita akan sitting bersama dan kita tutupi dengan body massage berkesadaran. Kemudian kita akan sama-sama mengundang guru kita, Koyen Shifu, untuk memberikan kita Dhamma Desana. Selamat berlatih teman-teman semua. Kita berdiri tegak. Kita ayunkan tubuh kita ke kiri dan ke kanan. Sambil mengayunkan kedua tangan. Kedua lengan lemas bergelantung di samping tubuh. Biarkan ia dengan sendirinya menupuk tubuh kita, bagian pundak dan juga bagian belakang. Di saat kita melakukan gerak berkesadaran, kita melatih kesadaran kita di mana tubuh berada, disitulah pikiran kita berada. Sangat jelas kita merilekskan tubuh kita dan rilekskan seluruh tubuh kita secara keseluruhan. Selanjutnya kita memasuki gerakan kedua. Kita letakkan kedua tangan di samping tubuh dan kita akan mengayunkan kaki sambil mengayunkan tangan ke depan dan ke belakang. Tinggi badan, tinggi lengan, tidak melebihi bahu, ketinggian bahu. sangat jelas akan gerakan tubuh kita. Sadari relaksasi tubuh dan rilekskan seluruh tubuh kita. Di mana tubuh kita berada, disitulah batin kita berada. Perlahan kita sudahi gerakannya dan bersikap menjadi. Kita kemudian letakkan kedua telapak tangan di belakang pinggang, kaki dibuka selebar bahu, putar tubuh ke kiri, ke belakang, ke kanan, ke depan. Ini belakang, kanan, ke depan. Cuci, sen cuci. Kemudian Friday started the things. Sorry. Setelah di posisi ke depan, kita putar ke arah yang berlawanan. Rilekskan tubuh dan pikiran kita dan sadar penuh tubuh kita sedang bergerak. Perlahan kita selesaikan gerakannya. Mudah-mudahan kita akan memasuki selanjutnya sesi meditasi duduk. Saya persiapkan sebentar tempatnya. Kita akan memulai sesi meditasi duduk kita dengan menggerakkan kepala memutar kepala sebanyak 3 putaran. Setelah 3 putaran, kita balas ke putaran yang selanjutnya. Setelah 3 putaran selesai, kita satukan telapak tangan kita dengan membentuk segitiga terbalik dan kita letakkan di atas perut. Dengan posisi pusar ada di tengah segitiga. Kita tarik nafas yang dalam, buang nafas, tarik nafas, buang nafas. Tarik nafas, buang nafas. Kita akan memasuki sesi meditasi duduk. Kita pilih postur duduk, postur kaki sesuai dengan posisi Anda yang paling nyaman. Boleh no lotus, boleh juga half lotus, di mana kakinya diatil di atas paha. Dan kita menutupnya dengan kain ataupun handuk. Duduklah dengan tegak dan santai, menduduki bantalan setengah dari bantal lingkaran meditasi. Bahunya boleh digerak-gerakkan untuk merilekskan bahu yang tegang, diputar ke belakang ataupun ke depan. Kita akan melakukan relaxation body scanning. Mata boleh dipejam ataupun melihat ke depan, 45 derajat ke depan. Dan sekarang kita mulai relaxation body scanning. Rasakan bagian kepala kita, rilekskan, rasakan kening, rilekskan, rasakan mata, dan rilekskan otot-otot sekitar mata yang tegang. Kita rasakan wajah, rilekskan, rasakan leher, rilekskan. Rasakan bahu, dan rilekskan. Rasakan lengan atas, lengan bawah, telapak tangan dan jari-jari tangan. Dirilekskan. Sekarang kita letakkan perhatian kita pada dada bagian depan. Sadari dada kita yang kembang dan kempis di saat kita bernafas. Sekarang kita pindah perhatiannya kepada daerah perut. Relax. Punggung belakang. Relax. Pinggang. Relax. Bokong. Relax. Paha bagian atas. Relax. Paha bagian bawah. Betis. Telapak kaki. Hingga jari-jari kaki. Set kedua, letakkan perhatian pada ubun-ubun kepala kita. Relax. Kening. Relax. Kedua bola mata. Relax. Wajah. Relax. Dan jangan lupa untuk memberikan senyuman pada diri sendiri yang telah meluangkan waktu untuk berlatih bersama di malam ini. Sekarang pindahkan perhatian kita pada bagian leher. Relax. Pada bagian bahu. Relax. Dengan atas. Dengan bawah. Telapak tangan. Dan jari-jari tangan. Sekarang kita letakkan perhatian pada dada bagian depan. Rasakan dada kita yang bergerak di saat kita bernafas. Rasakan perut. Letakkan perhatian pada punggung bagian belakang. Pinggang. Bokong. Paha atas. Betis. Telapak kaki. Dan jari-jari kaki. Letakkan perhatian pada kepala. Dahi. Mata. Wajah. Leher. Bahu. lengan atas, lengan bawah, telapak tangan hingga jari-jari tangan. Dada depan, perut, punggung belakang, pinggang, bokong, paha atas, betis, telapak kaki, jari-jari kaki. Relaxation body scanning selesai. Sekarang kita pindahkan perhatian kita pada bagian daerah lubang hidung kita. Tahu nafas masuk melewati lubang hidung kita. Tahu nafas keluar melalui lubang hidung kita. Tahu jelas nafas masuk. Tahu jelas nafas keluar. Nafas masuk dan keluar kita hitung 1. Masuk, keluar kita hitung 2. Masuk, keluar kita hitung 3. Masuk, keluar kita hitung 4. Masuk, keluar 5. Masuk, keluar 6. Masuk, keluar 7. Masuk, keluar 8. Masuk, keluar 9. Masuk, keluar 10. Setelah 10 hitungan, kita mulai menghitung dari angka 1 kembali. 1 hingga 10. Kemudian mulai lagi dari angka 1 hingga 10. Kita melakukan hitungan nafas secara berulang-ulang sampai sesi meditasi ini selesai. Meditasi mandiri dimulai. Perlahan kita beritahu pada diri kita sendiri bahwa kita akan keluar dari sesi meditasi duduk. Perlahan gerakkan tangan, jari-jari tangan kita, gerakkan tubuh ke kiri dan ke kanan, ke depan dan ke belakang. Kita letakkan kedua telapak tangan di depan dada. Perlahan buka mata kita tertuju pada jari telunjuk dan perlahan perluas pandangan ke depan. Kita letakkan kedua tangan di atas lutut. Kita putar tubuh kita bentuk lingkaran searah jarum jam, lingkaran kecil, sedang, dan lingkaran besar. Lingkaran kecil, lingkaran sedang, dan putaran yang lebih besar. Selanjutnya kita memasuki body massage. Kita hangatkan telapak tangan kita hingga panas, lalu tempelkan pada mata kita. Kemudian hangatkan buku-buku jempol dan kita massage otot-otot mata sekitar mata kita. Kemudian hangatkan kembali dan kita tempelkan ke wajah dan kita usap seperti kita membasuh wajah. Hangatkan kembali. Kita tempelkan di depan dahi dan belakang. Kita beri tekanan sedikit dan putar. Hangatkan kembali. Kita massage kepala depan hingga belakang, kiri dan kanan. Kemudian bagian leher. Kita hangatkan kembali. Kita massage leher belakang dan bahu kiri. Kita hangatkan sendi, kemudian kita massage lengan bagian atas. Hangatkan siku, kemudian lengan bawah, pergelangan dan telapak tangan kita massage. Di antara jempol dan telunjuk ada acupuncture point. Kita press dan release, tekan dan lepas, tekan dan lepas. Kemudian kita massage jari-jari tangan kita tanpa membunyikannya. Selanjutnya kita hangatkan lagi, kita massage leher belakang hingga bahu kanan. Hangatkan sendi, dengan atas siku, dengan bawah sendi dihangatkan. Kemudian kita massage telapak tangan kanan kita. Acupuncture point di antara jari telunjuk dan juga jempol di tengah-tengah ada acupuncture point. Tekan, lepas, tekan, lepas. Kemudian kita masak jari-jari lainnya tanpa membunyikannya. Hangatkan, kita masak dada bagian depan, dada bagian sebelahnya lagi. Kita hangatkan kembali dan tempelkan di atas perut. Kita putar ke arah kiri, bawah, kanan, atas. Kiri, bawah, kanan, atas. Kita hangatkan kembali. Kita sapu dari bawah ketiak ke depan. Kemudian kita massage punggung bagian belakang. Selanjutnya kita massage kaki kiri. Kita massage dari paha atas, selangkangan, hingga paha bagian atas. Kita hangatkan siku kaki, kemudian kita buka lebar jari-jari tangan kita dengan jari telunjuk segaris dengan tulang kering, dan di bawah jari manis itu ada acupuncture point. Kita press dan juga betis. Ingatkan sendi dan kita massage telapak kaki dan jari-jari kaki. Selanjutnya kita massage kaki kanan. Hangatkan. Begitu halnya juga dengan kaki kanan di bawah jari manis. Kita press acupuncture point dan betis bagian bawah. Kita hangatkan sendi. Kemudian kita luruskan kaki, buka selebar panggung. Kita putar masuk ke dalam, peting, kemudian putar keluar. Kita tutup, kemudian kita rotate pergelangan kakinya dan arah berlawanan. Point, flex, pointed, and flex, pointed, and flex. Meditasi kita telah selesai. Selanjutnya kita akan memasuki sesi Dharma teaching yang akan diberikan oleh Koyen Shifu. Beri saya waktu untuk set up table-nya dulu. Bentar ya. Selanjutnya kita memasuki Dharma teaching yang akan diberikan oleh guru kita Koyen Shifu dari Dharma Mountain Retreat Center. Saya mengundang teman-teman semua untuk silahkan buka videonya. Kita akan sama-sama mengundang guru bersama. Mari kita bersikap anjali dan memberi penghormatan kepada guru. Bow. Amitabha, Koyin Shifu.
Good morning, good day.
Good day, Shifu.
So, today is Thursday, September 19, 2024. We'll talk about Platform Sutra in the chapter of the doubts. And last time we talked, we ended on August 29, 2024. And the last section was about a practitioner who asked about dreams. And she said, I dreamt last night with such and such. I have some dreams. What should I do? So the answer to it is that we are already in a dream in our daily life. Why bother about the dream in a dream? So we continue on the talk today. So there was a person who experienced a series of bad lucks. So he went to a certain temple to draw the fortune stick and got a bad omen, and suggesting that he would encounter disaster. It's possible that seeing blood, which is red. And the person went to see a fortune teller. Now the fortune teller told him he's going to have bad luck and even face some family tragedy. Therefore, he came to ask for Shi Gong's advice. So he said, Master, what should I do? And Shi Gong was asking him, why don't you ask them how to avoid seeing blood? Then there will be no problem, right? But the fortune tellers said that you're going to have some bad luck and your family will face disaster. So just ask them how to avoid these things. That will solve the problem, right? And then the practitioners said, Master, they can't do that. They can only tell me I'm going to have bad luck, that I'm going to see blood. What does seeing blood mean? Interesting enough, our Shi Gong will reply, it's very simple. Just take out a red cloth and look at it. Then you see red. That's what happened. So actually there is no problem. But after seeing the fortune teller, they became paranoid. And they can't even live in peace. And that's why they came to see our teacher. Well, what do you think? our Shigong saying that it's quite simple. Just recite Guan Yin Bodhisattva name or Amitabha Buddha's name. And also be careful when you go out. You don't argue and fight with others. Just be cautious. And the person replied, isn't that simple? and Sikong said, yeah, it's very simple. Beyond that, I can't help you. And of course, you don't need to draw, lots or consult fortune teller. If you regularly recite the Buddha's name or the Bodhisattva's name, and if you're cautious, there's no need to worry. Does worrying help? If it doesn't, then don't let it weigh on your mind. The thing is that everyone has the same potential for wisdom. Why do some can be wise while others don't? It depends on whether you can let go and whether your mind is cluttered with thoughts. Now, again, another example is a lay person. He had not been visited a place for a long time. And he came, and of course, we asked him, what happens? How come he didn't come for a long time? Well, he said that recently I'm in trouble. So I'm afraid to come to the temple. Well, it is exactly because you're in trouble. We should come to the temple. But he replied that, well, I come to the temple, all I do is listen to the teachings. But right now, the issue that I can't solve myself by using the teaching, it needs to be resolved through worldly laws and legal means. And continue asking, so have you resolved your problem with legal means? And he said, no. Then if that's the case, come and listen to what the teaching is going to tell you. The teaching can help you. And it's been so long and no other method works. You need to come to Buddhism. No. Well, this case here is for myself, actually. When I was in Canada, the time that I was in Canada, at the workplace, sometimes then I encounter troubles with my superior, with my work. A certain issue come up and create some disturbance in my mind. So at that time, I regularly received the Chan magazine published by our center in New York. And when I read through pages in there talking about Buddhism, that somehow just helped me to resolve my problem, decrease my vexations to a certain way, a certain point. Actually, that really helped. So the approach in Buddhism is very simple. and we talk about cause and effect. So when it comes to cause and effect, if we owe something to others, we must repay it. If we don't owe anything, we don't need to repay. If we do owe something, we should try to find a different way to repay it. It's not that if we owe someone a life, we must repay with another life, as that would lead to an endless cycle of revenge. Instead, if we owe someone a life, we should find a way to save them, probably 10 times, or perhaps save them 5 times, so that we don't have to repay with our own life. If we can prevent them from dying 10 times, isn't that even better? So when dealing with issues using Buddhist principles, so we should repay what we owe, but we should think of a better way to repay it. First, we help ourselves, and second, we help others. And if we absolutely must repay, then it's simple. Just repay them. If they demand a life, give a life. If they demand money, give money. If they demand a person, give a person. If they demand something, give that thing. Then your mind will be at peace. However, we should still be mindful of the methods and techniques we use. I remember one time there was a monk. One night he was sleeping, and then he found something that is pressing on his body when he was sleeping, but he could not see whatever that is pressing upon his body. So he was thinking of, you want to press me? So just let you do it. And he relaxed and received whatever that is pressing him. The time that his mind turned, his attitude turned, then this pressing onto the body is gone. So here I just give you an example of accepting these things that you don't even know what is going on. But it is happening. So that's one way of dealing with it. Now we continue on talking about the saying of having thoughts, but practicing not to dwell on them, which referring to the teaching of thoughts without obstruction. So it doesn't mean that having no thoughts at all. If we had no thoughts at all, we would be a stone and not a person. Humans have minds and thoughts, but once a thought arises, let it pass. Do not dwell on it or feel regret. And then your mind will be at peace. If a thought arises and you believe it has some special significance for you, if you think that thought is particularly important, then you could be in trouble. So we should treat all thoughts with equanimity. Whether they are good or bad, by treating them with equanimity, our mind will remain calm. When the mind is consistently calm, we can perceive our true nature. It is in this state that we gain wisdom. True wisdom is dealing with all matters and people calmly, clearly, and without emotional attachment. It is not about being cold or indifferent, but rather it is the true subtle function of the mind, which is the real merit. Now, for this section, we know that when we meditate, we have many wandering thoughts. And how to deal with wandering thoughts is that to understand these thoughts, they have the nature of impermanence. They come and they stay, and then they disappear. And that is the nature of thoughts. They're like that. So if you just don't follow them, stay with a clear mind, then you're calmer, like it said here. Calm, clear, no emotional attachment. Right? Continue on with the text saying that inner humility is merit. Outward courtesy is virtue. Why does the Platform Sutra keep emphasizing humility? And what is its importance in spiritual practice? When encounter arrogance, we should maintain humility and modesty in our mind and be polite, courteous, and respectful to others in our external conduct. There's an example of a lay practitioner, an elder who had been a Buddhist for decades. He thought he had achieved great spiritual progress and believed that monastics were not as advanced as he was. And he even called himself a teacher and had many students. He often tells his students like this: monastics are not qualified to be our teachers, but to instill a sense of shame in them. We should still bow to them when we meet them, so they feel ashamed of their lack of spiritual cultivation. As a result, his students naturally did not seek out monastic teachers. Now, one time, one of his disciples came to Shigong to discuss something. After bowing to Shigong, he said, "I am a student of a certain teacher," referring to that teacher. What Shigong responded was that, "Oh, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed." And then he looked at Shigong, and Shigong said, "You bow to me this time? Weren't you trying to make me feel ashamed?" And then the person replied, "Our teacher says that. But trying to make a down master feel ashamed seems wrong, doesn't it?" Now, this is an example of arrogance. The person thought he was better than others and held this belief in his mind. When he bowed to you, he thought he was superior. What do you think? Is this attitude humble or arrogant? Now, another example. A lay practitioner, a young man, claimed that he was now an arhat. Someone asked him, "You say you are an arhat. Who confirmed this?" The reply was that no one in this world can confirm that I am an arhat. I'm self-verified, self-enlightened. Well, then continue asking, since no one can confirm this, are you willing to discuss what level you have achieved with someone else? So he said, because in this world, there's no one besides me who is an arhat. Then still someone suggested, could you discuss this with someone else? Or perhaps at that time was then perhaps not Master Sheng Yan, but someone who often speaks about Chan on television or radio. He might understand something. Why don't you ask him? And this lay practitioner replied, if you insist that I must ask, I will humble myself and consult with them. But in my mind, no one can confirm me, and no one is qualified to discuss with me. So again, we raise a question to you. Is this person humble or arrogant? Now, we bring up this example to illustrate that Platform Sutra teaches. If those two examples of the elder and the young practitioner were correct, then Platform Sutra would be wrong, because it tells us, humble in your mind, and courteous in your appearance. There's another story. There was a lay practitioner who wanted to visit a very famous Chan master. And on the way up the mountain, he encountered an old monk carrying manure and tending to vegetables. The lay practitioner asked him, "Oh monk, do you know if a certain Chan master is here today?" The old monk replied, "Why do you want to see him?" The lay practitioner said, "I want to visit him today." And the old monk said, "That person is useless, about the same as me. What is the point of seeing him?" The lay practitioner scolded the old monk. "How dare you be so disrespectful? That monk is very famous, and I came to visit him today. How can you, living on this mountain, think that this monk is irrelevant?" So the old monk replied, "All right, if you want to see him, go ahead. He is here today anyway." So the lay practitioner continued up the mountain, and the old monk, carrying manure, followed behind him. The lay practitioner asked, "Why are you following me?" The old monk said, "Aren't you here to see someone? Who are you looking for?" And the lay practitioner replied, "I'm looking for a certain Chan master." And then the old monk said, "All right, go inside." After entering, the lay practitioner waited in the guest hall. The old monk put down his manure load, went to the back, and then came out to greet him. "Lay practitioner, weren't you looking for a certain old monk?" And the lay practitioner replied, "Yes. How are you here?" The old monk said, "Please come inside and sit." After sitting, the old monk poured him tea and sat behind him, waiting for the lay practitioner to speak. After a while, the lay practitioner said, "Why hasn't the old monk come out yet? Could you, why hasn't the master come out yet? Could you inform him?" And the old monk replied, "Why do you need to inform him? I already walked with you for a while, make you tea, and now you still want to see him." So that's what happens. So this story illustrates that a Chan master, an accomplished monk, is the same as an old monk carrying manure. He does this himself, serve teas to others, and show them the way. And then in the end, when the lay practitioner knelt to bow to him, the Chan master said, "No need to bow. your heart is full of things. Bowing won't help. So such things happened because at that time, there were no cameras, no photographs. So it was impossible for people to recognize the master anyway. So we must be humble. Humility is absolutely beneficial. In Confucian morality, it is said, humility brings benefit, while arrogance invites loss. However, being humble does not necessarily make others admire, obey, or support you. If you're humble while the other person is not, the issue remains the same. If you maintain humility, your problem is resolved. And any issues the other person has are their own. You should not hold grudges. If you do, then you are not truly humble. There's a practice called contemplating the earth. Probably you've heard about it, but still, some of you may not heard about it. So, we know that the earth beneath our feet is always below us. Although the land provides us with food and the ground offers us minerals and treasures, what do we do to repay the earth? Do we show any gratitude? Who among us, after taking a bite of food grown from the ground, bows down to the earth and say, "Thank you, earth. Thank you for giving me food to eat"? Do you ever do that? Now, usually not. The earth remains below, always providing what sentient beings need. Yet, we seldom think of the earth's contributions. The earth's virtue is the greatest, and it never seeks anything in return. The only things we give back are our spit, excrement, garbage, and unwanted items. Even when we die, we leave our decaying bodies to the earth. We discard everything bad to the earth and take the good for ourselves. Who would ever think to thank the earth and say, "Earth, you're so good. You're my benefactor"? Not likely they will think this way. Therefore, humility does not seek repayment or return. If it does, it is not true humility, but a purposeful act, and thus without merit. Humility requires a lowering of the mind, not elevating it. A mind that is high in the air leads to arrogance and pride. If the mind can be lower, humility will naturally follow. A mind is high in the air, meaning arrogance, makes one think they are superior. So continue on practicing courtesy. The phrase that outward courtesy is virtue means that in our interactions, we must remain appropriate etiquette, manners, and politeness. There's a saying, no one blames a person who is overly polite, which seems correct. However, excessive politeness can also be wrong, as there is another saying, too much courtesy breeds deceit. Courtesy means interacting with others appropriately according to one's own position and status. The way elders treat juniors should differ based on the appropriate manner. Now, there's an example given by our teacher, Shifu. He said that once he was with a young monk who insisted on giving him a red envelope, 红包, as a gift. And Shifu declined, but much after back and forth, Shifu eventually accepted. However, Shifu told the young monk that he did not understand proper etiquette. As an elder, he said that there was no need for formalities and that he should not offer him anything because he was still young and didn't have much pocket money. Shifu appreciated the gesture, but he didn't need the money. And this is an example of an elder monk showing compassion to a younger monk. However, the young monk insisted on giving me the money, giving Shifu the money, which shows that he was not listening. There was a saying, a child who listens can be taught. But in this case, the monk was not listening and thus show a lack of respect. Simply giving money to our teacher does not demonstrate proper etiquette. But we know courtesy is a lubricant between people. In certain countries, people are taught courtesy from a young age, starting within the family. They learn how to behave during meals, how to walk, how to interact with strangers, and how to greet acquaintances properly. When leaving the house, they always say courtesy words. And when returning home, they also express polite words and gestures. This is the practice of everyday courtesy. Between husband and wife, there should be mutual respect as if they were guests. Mutual respect as guests means treating each other with courtesy, speaking with propriety, in maintaining politeness. Without propriety and courtesy, even brothers may end up fighting and arguing. So courtesy acts as a lubricant and protective layer between people, making our interaction harmonious and smooth. Now we could ask, can enlightened beings ignore etiquette and courtesy? Some people believe that those who practice Chan, or those who have attained enlightenment, having reached liberation and transcended the ordinary, are different from ordinary people and thus may behave differently. What ordinary people consider impolite, they might not. Now, this belief is incorrect, even for extraordinary saints, because they have no sense of self. They must be humble within. Externally, being very pure individuals, they will naturally be extremely polite. And they will certainly pay great attention to etiquette and manners. Please do not misunderstand attaining the fruit of Arahat, which is great liberation. Does not mean one can be slovenly or excessively dressed, sit carelessly, or sleep in a disordered manner. These are mistaken belief and misconceptions. Truly enlightened individuals, virtuous monks, and great spiritual teachers who practice diligently will always be very attentive to their etiquette, manners, and courtesy. The saying of practicing humility and courtesy is meritorious. So, humility and courtesy. Humility is merit, and courtesy is virtue. If one wishes to cultivate merit in spiritual practice, one must be humble in the mind and courtesy in behavior. This is something everyone should understand and practice. Over time, the more you practice, the better and deeper your practice will become, leading to greater fulfillment. As a result, the affliction in your mind will gradually decrease, and your wisdom will increase. Whether or not you achieve enlightenment is not the most important thing. What matters is that as your own affliction decrease, you will also bring happiness and reduce the afflictions of those around you. Okay, so I will stop here for today.
Thank you, Guo Yan Shifu. Now the time is 9:44 in Indonesia. Should we have a breakout room, Guo Yan Shifu?
Sure.
Or we have Q&A directly?
Yeah, breakout room is fine.
Break up the room. Okay, Si Xiaochen can help us to break out the room. Thank you. Jadi teman-teman di dalam breakout room kita boleh berdiskusi akan topik malam ini, di mana tadi di spesifiknya humility and
Courtesy.
courtesy. Yes, thank you. Welcome back, teman-teman. Apakah Win Shifu sudah masuk? Coba saya cek.
Sudah.
Koyen Shifu, let me pin. Saya pin dulu. Oke. Koyen Shifu, should we proceed for Q&A? Ada anybody have question? After discussion breakout room just now, does anybody have question? If do, please unmute yourself. Shifu,
Yes.
oh, just now in the breakout room, we come up to have two questions. One is regard to the story about the red packet, the Hong Pao, between Master Sheng Yen and the young monk. Young monk, right? If I don't hear it wrongly.
Right.
Yeah, we don't understand why the young monk, why Master Sheng Yen says that the young monk doesn't understand or doesn't listen or doesn't have courtesy. Well, what I understand is, as a lay person, if I can give offering to great master, it is my 荣幸 my how does it say?
My honor.
Yeah, it's my honor to be able to give offering towards great master. So, but I was quite shocked when Sifu say that the young monk doesn't have courtesy. Please explain, Sifu.
We have the same question raised in our group. Now, you need to know that cases are different because the young monk and Shigong was going back and forth probably quite a few times, and the young monk still exists, right? Now, from the standpoint of the young monk, he really wants to offer. But since the master already refused a couple times already, then he should listen rather than just insist. So for Sugong, he was compassionate enough to know that the young monk did not really have much money and he should keep the money, but the young monk insists. So this is a case. Now, if it is not the young monk, even for ourselves, we were taught that when students were offering to us, usually we would say no. And we told them that, well, actually the reason being is because students don't have much money. So we will refuse and tell them that, okay, our teacher told us that since you're a student, it's better, not to offer to us. That's what happens. But for other people, in general, then they have family, they have some money, they offer to us, we usually accept. There's no need for us to go back and forth. You don't need to. It's not sincere enough. And just like I just play like this. Okay, you don't need to, and then I still take the money. It's like fake. You know what it is? So it's different right there. So that's what happens. Oh.
Okay, thank you, Sifu. So there's another question. Due to the maybe not familiar, why the young monk as a monk donate to another monk, elder monk? Can Sangha donate things to another Sangha? That's
You,
another question.
yeah, usually for us, we also don't accept like donation from monks. We don't accept ourselves, you know. So actually, we somehow this is a little bit tricky. And if they insist, so we don't accept them, but they still insist, they could put in the donation box. So it's not monk to monk or not monastic to monastic, but it is like, you know, they support the so-called the place of practice in general, rather than you know a monk to a monk or monk to nun to a nun. So we don't do that. So when I go out and I see some other senior monks, usually I don't give money. I don't offer money to them. But I will present the books from our teacher. You know, it's the Dharma that is right there. That is, we're learning from each other. So we don't put red envelope money in it.
Thank you, Shifu.
Okay.
Ada yang punya pertanyaan? Ada yang punya pertanyaan lagi? No? If no, should we proceed to transfer merit, Shifu?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Ji Xiaozhen.
Please join your palms. We pray for the flourishing Buddha Dharma, for peace in the world, for the joy and contentment of all people, for the freedom and ease of body and mind. May sentient beings depart from suffering. May the vows of the donors be fulfilled. 回向佛法兴隆，世界和平，人民安乐，身心自在，众生离苦，施主愿是。好。
Teman-teman, saya undang every one of us, please turn on the video. Let's give respect to Shifu together. Let's join our palm together and bow. Thank you, Koyan Shifu.
Thank you, everyone.
May you have good
Thank you,
day.
Shifu. Thank you, Shifu. Thank you, teman-teman semua.
Thank you. Shifu, I like the story.